a fucking, however many video long story arc of just the shit that she put me through, or the things that may have happened when I was with her, and how I, for some reason, changed as a person just because I was around her. I lost myself, and I don't, and being a spiritual person, I don't know what was up with her. I don't know if like she had some sort of like, if she was taking my energy or what. But somehow I lost who I was spiritually. I lost who I was in my heart. Lost who I was mentally. I didn't even think like myself. Like me, I am a loyal person in a relationship. And I will tell you this right now, loyal viewers, I cheated on Cassandra 3 times. 2 of them were not intentional. They were not. First one was under pressure. I guess the first 2 were in a sense. But, and I was looking at it objectively. I was living in an abandoned house. I was homeless. She didn't mind that her boyfriend was homeless. But, she lived with her parents. That's really not much better. I feel like when you're homeless, you're at least on your own. You're not having to rely on other people. We'll get into that on another time, okay? But I stumbled on my ex, different ex at the time, meaning I'm not with her, but like, okay, fuck it. My ex, Vicky, who was my ex when I was with Cassandra. That way we get that confusion out of the way. When I was with Cassandra, I, was already with Vicky for a short while, and, been like a year or something like that, and I hadn't seen her out of the blue, and, I am the kind of person who does want to naturally try and stay friends with his exes. Because just because the relationship goes to shit doesn't mean we can't stay friends. A lot of people have a hard time with that. They're like, well, I saw you naked, or I had this emotional attachment, or something, and they can't remain friends. Something prevents them from thinking the way they used to. A lot of people actually were never friends, which will destroy a relationship. It's, you can't salvage a relationship without friendship, which is one reason why I question my current relationship. It's because we don't know much about each other. We have no interest in common. There's not much that... There's not a friendship there, It's funny because it looked like, oh, I guess it's lower. With how the camera looks, there's the red dot where I can stop it or record or whatever, and how the angle kind of makes it look like that was where my nipple was, but my nipple's lower, so stupid. But yeah, anyway, so I'm living in an abandoned house. I run into my ex, Vicky, and I think, if I remember right, basically it was like, somehow the offer was extended to me to live or stay or whatever with her and her sister. And obviously Cassandra was not happy about that, being it's my ex, and what, stereotypical bullshit when it happens with exes. But it wasn't that, it was the fact, and like I said, I looked at it objectively. So I told her, do you want me to live in an abandoned house where I am technically at risk of, the law? Because, even though it's abandoned, and by definition of the word abandoned, means nobody wants it. But in our day and age of capitalism and money means everything and is the root of all evil, basically that means that somebody still owns the property, or someone still owns the house as long as the house is standing. Rather it's the bank or someone owns it, which means I don't have the right to live in it. I think it's bullshit. We'll go into my views of that at some point, I'm sure. So I was like, hey, do you want me to, be with my ex? Do you not trust me? Or do you want me to live in an abandoned house? And so she kind of didn't have a say in the matter. And God, did Felicia live fucking far. God, I swear it took forever to walk there. Which was, like I said, her sister's name was Felicia. Which, honestly, like, Felicia was kind of cute. Um, Vicky, I thought was very beautiful. I did like Vicky, but like physically, I thought that she was physically beautiful. Um, I don't know. Some just I don't know. I guess it's the fact that I'm very diverse in my taste, and Vicky had a different body structure than her sister did. Her sister was more of the skinnier type, I guess is a way to put it. Vicky had a little bit more to her. Like, just again, random off topic. So um, like I have different types in women, and it's based on basically reality. It's like, oh yeah, I like skinny girls or whatever. I like, bigger chicks, or a little bit more to push, or whatever they fucking call it. I'm not like that. I will depending on my frame of mind and what I'm interested in. Meaning, if as cruel as or screwed up as this might be, this is basically subconsciously what all humans are after, which is no, not sex, but yes, we are. Um, uh, it's just kind of, nature of life. All animals want to be able to reproduce. It's just, natural instincts, and we are animals, so therefore we have that instinct. No, like I go for personality, and I go for, yeah, pretty much. I think the term is pansexual. So I'm not straight, I'm not gay, I'm not bi. I'm pansexual, which means that I will like a person for their personality, and that's pretty much it. And it took me a long time to come to terms with this, which kind of, in a sense, segues into the second time it happened with Cassandra. I was on meetme.com, which is supposed to be a way that you just meet people, you just meet friends and whatnot. But let's be honest, it's no one goes on there unless they want to try and get laid. I You might have, met friends on there. I tend to meet friends on there. I met three very good friends on there. One I'm no longer friends with because she played with my heart, really, and I ended up falling in love, and love's not something that just dies, unfortunately. So even during the beginnings of my relationship with Reina, this person contacted me out of the blue, and I ended up talking to her, and I told her it's like talk to her just the way I used to talk to her. So ultimately, it was very hard and difficult, and I tried to end the friendship several times. But the problem was that I was the reason why we were friends and whatever, and so like okay, here's an issue that I have is the friend's name was Kimmy, and I really don't care about name dropping anymore. I think I'm just going to start doing it from now on, unless I don't know a person well enough to not do that. What, Callie? No, I'm not feeding you. So Kimmy, when I met her, she literally just got married, and we live states away, and we always have. She lives in Alabama, and she didn't have the balls to tell her new husband that she never wanted to actually be with him. And I've heard, like, over the phone, I've also, like, dealt with it while just being simply friends, not even like more than friends, just friends. She's like, oh, I can't talk to you right now. And I'm like, why? I'm in bed. And I'm like, so? She's like, well, when I'm texting and I'm in bed, Donovan's trying to sleep, and I can't get up. And I'm like, why can't you get up? Because then he'll wake up, and then he'll get mad, and he'll start a fight. And I'm like, why does it matter if you get up? What if I mean, what if you gotta pee or whatever like that? But no, it was the fact that Donovan was very controlling. He was extremely controlling. Like, she was not allowed to have any guy friends. She wasn't allowed to talk to, he would go through her phone. And I'm sorry, I will say this right now. If you go through your spouse's phone, there better be good reason, because I am the kind of person who believes in privacy. So ultimately, if you're going through your spouse's phone, which to me the word spouse just basically means significant other, you know, doesn't necessarily mean you're married or not. But even more so, if you get married, then you have no right to go through the other person's phone without permission. Because if you do, that means you do not trust them. And there are better ways to do that while still doing so. Um, I saw this video where this guy, he found this app or program or whatever. I never used it. I don't know how it works. But it's a spy program that apparently you're supposed to download to the other person's device that you want to spy on. And he said that he, he didn't look for it or anything to be a creeper. He did it because he suspected his first wife being like, cheating on him. And so one day, I guess he got the program. It's like $70. I did look at the website. I'll put a link in below where his video is in case for whatever reason you want this program for same reasons or any reason. I don't care what your reasons are. But you are able to remotely / manually delete things off of the other person's phone. They download an app or their history, you can delete that. And you can view almost like what I think is called VPN for tech people. But I don't know. I don't know much about VPN. My biological father used it for business stuff. But what my understanding of it was basically you can remotely view and utilize someone else's computer from a distance. You just need a password and whatever else. I don't know if it's like that, so don't quote me on that. Don't come back to me and say it doesn't do that or whatever, because I didn't download it. I don't have the program. I've never used it. But this guy's video, he says on how it's good for when you have teenagers and they get in trouble or to whatever like that. If you're suspicious of your spouse, then you can basically view their call logs, listen to their surroundings. So your wife says that she goes to work and she has a business meeting, she won't be home